So last night I saw Empire of Light, and I thought this movie was beautiful. I feel like this movie says what we have always been thinking about why art and film is so important. And I really want to break down all of the themes and symbolic moments, like Hillary's mental illness, the racism against Stephen, why Hillary and Stephen are in love, why Hillary loved that movie so much that she saw in the theater, and what the ending of the movie means with that final poem. I read through and watched many of the interviews with the director and the actors, so I really hope you enjoy my research and my insights on the film. So to break this movie down, we're going to use two themes. One, escaping through art, where we'll discuss the overall meaning of the movie, Hillary's childhood and mental illness, the abusive manager, Stephen's discrimination, Stephen and Hillary's relationship, and the meaning of the title of the film. Two, art as inspiration. We'll discuss Hillary's downward spiral, Norman's long-lost son, Hillary finally watching a movie, and the ending with the final poem, and much more. And if you like this video, please leave a thumbs up and a comment. It helps so much. And if you want to see more of these, please make sure to subscribe as well. Let's get started. Theme number one, escaping through art. In an interview with Variety, the director, Sam Mendes, described what the purpose of the film was for him. It's about how movies and words and poetry can take you out of yourself if you're in some way struggling. It's about how you can escape those things. The art can take you out of that. The art can give you a way through. And I feel like he described this perfectly. This film is a celebration of art as a whole, with a focus on film, and how art forms like film can help us escape from the real world, and also inspire us to be better when we return to the real world. And the opening sequence does a great job of establishing this respect for the art. The film opens with shots of the theater before opening, and this sequence captures a regular movie theater in a way as if it's legendary and beautiful, like a museum full of historical monuments. As we're introduced to our main character, Hillary, we notice that she is taking lithium, a mood-stabilizing drug for schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. We hear mentioned to the doctor that the drug makes her feel quite numb, mentally and emotionally. And the doctor advises her to keep in good company. He says the company of good friends and family will bring back emotional feelings in a natural way while on the lithium. However, as a result of Hillary's mental illness, she struggles to make any friends, and we see no sign of family. Hillary's mental illness is quite obviously a result of her family life as a child, as we hear tragic stories about her neglectful father and her abusive, mentally ill mother. Whether hereditary or experiential, or both, her illness has been lifelong. And Hillary's numbness makes it tolerable to endure a one-sided abusive sexual relationship with her manager, Mr. Ellis. And there is most certainly this theme of how isolation destroys us and hurts those around us. And this theme is expressed through all of our characters. Almost every main character demonstrates the pain of loneliness and isolation. We hear very soon that even Mr. Ellis is treating Hillary this way because of his wife, who is slowly falling out of love with him. Fortunately for Hillary, she meets Stephen, the kindest young man you could ever meet, who treats Hillary with the utmost respect, and most importantly, like a normal human being. Stephen's role is symbolized by his scene with the injured bird. It's a sign of nurturing one who is damaged and treating the weak with respect. He is caring for the sake of being caring. It's just who he is. And this relationship goes both ways. Both characters respect each other and value each other in a way no one else does. Hillary has been outcasted by her mentally ill family, and then by the world from her resulting mental illness. Stephen has been outcasted for the color of his skin, as political upheaval in 1980s UK raised tension between the white majority and the newly growing minority communities. When Stephen tries to hang out with someone like Janine, who is closer to his age and most certainly respectful, she comes with a friend group who are quietly judging him for his race. It's inevitable. Hillary doesn't come with any of that. She's completely alone. Hillary and Stephen are each other's escape, a retreat from one another. And this mutual compassion and peace evolves into romance. When on the rooftop with Stephen, Hillary recites a piece of a poem titled Ring Out, Wild Bells by Alfred Tennyson. A poem about releasing the old and dated, creating new room for new beginnings with a focus on peace, love, and togetherness. This, of course, captures a major theme within the movie about making room for change and establishes the start of Stephen and Hilary's new piece. So both characters not only escape reality through each other, but also through two different art forms. Hilary escapes through poetry, reciting various verses throughout the film. Stephen escapes through cinema, embracing his moments in the projection room with Norman. And I think this whole theme of escaping through art is captured in one of Norman's most beautiful lines. If I run the film at 24 frames per second, you don't see the darkness. As Norman refers to the darkness between each frame of a film that we never see, he emphasizes how films allow us to escape the darkness of real life. And this line also speaks to the title of the film. A movie is an empire of light. It's a perfect series of multicolored lights, each within one frame of thousands, that come together to create one visual story. And that story, for the moment, is yours. It will affect every single viewer in a different way. But I think Norman is saying even more than just that film is an escape. Film and art should be more than simply a distraction. It's always been too powerful. And Hilary slowly learns that in the second half of the film. Which brings me to theme number 2, art as inspiration. As Hilary spends more time with Stephen, he seems to remedy her numbness and makes her feel much better entirely, so she stops taking the lithium. This, of course, isn't a good idea because the relationship is romantic, and in a romantic relationship, there are very intense feelings, meaning there can be very high highs, but also very low lows. And of course, as the film progresses from here, we see Hilary spiral downward into heavier mood swings, impulsive moments of humiliation, self-isolation, delusion, and denial. But when Hilary recovers from her lowest low and returns to the theater, Stephen is brought to his lowest low when he is attacked by rioting racists. And this is where the turning point begins for Hilary. For a little while, Hilary is reluctant to visit Stephen in the hospital, likely afraid of how Stephen would feel and feeling guilty for failing to prevent such a catastrophe. When she sits with Norman, he urges her to visit Stephen. Norman opens up about himself for the first time, mentioning that he has a 22-year-old son in London who doesn't want to see him. Norman abandoned his son when his son was 8 and never saw him since. When Norman is asked why he left his son, he replies, he can't remember why. My assumption is that there is so much regret that he's subconsciously erased the memory of his feelings when leaving his son. He would love more than anything to reunite with his son, but his son is yet to forgive him. And this is why Norman is so passionate about the projection room and the art of filmmaking. Movies give him a chance not only to escape his moments of hardship, but to reflect on his own life through the themes of the film and be a stronger person when the film is over. He says, most importantly, for Hilary to stop running away. Escaping is temporary, but reflecting and inspiring is eternal. After Hilary visits Stephen in the hospital, she rushes to the theater for Norman to project her a film of his choice. Hilary ends up watching Being There, starring Peter Sellers. A major theme of this satirical comedy is how visual art reflects reality, which of course is also a major theme in Empire of Light. The most popular line is, life is a state of mind, meaning life's meaning is determined by you through your own thoughts and actions. And this is the perfect film thematically for Hilary to reflect and inspire herself to improve her own life and relationships. The film closes with a poem Hilary shares with Stephen, The Trees by Philip Larkin. The poem uses metaphors of nature to evoke themes of new beginnings and starting afresh. As Stephen begins his journey towards his dreams, Hilary gathers the strength to let him go with a new firm grasp on who she is, trusting herself to be okay. Alright, that's my analysis. Subscribe for weekly videos and please send me your recommendations. And please let me know your thoughts and ideas around Empire of Light. I'm sure as a film fan it reached you in one way or another. I hope to see you again and thank you so much for watching. See you later.